Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. Today we decided we are going to harvest the garlic. It's July and we really want this bed for other things like peppers and tomatoes. My beautiful daughter is doing the harvesting and I'm sitting here on my gardening bench watching her. So far, if you take a look at the bulbs, look how big they are. This is the improvement in the size of the garlic between a raised bed with looser soil and the garlic that we grew out in the pasture in the ground. That the ground is pretty hard, the soil's hard, and it just didn't have room to expand the bulbs. So we're just going to show you her harvesting a few left of the garlic bulbs. Look at the size of that. She's knocking the dirt off them.
When you're harvesting your garlic, you really want to keep the basal plate in contact. Don't try really hard not to break it at all, because it means it can store for longer periods of time.
What's the basal plate?
Where the roots come out of.
Okay.
This very end part.
All right.
It's where the roots come out of. You try really hard to not break those. People like to harvest garlic with a fork because it's less chance of harming it, and so it'll store longer for you if you don't hurt the basal plate. And you can also use a shovel, but just go out far away from it and go really under it and just gently tease it out of the soil. If you break a few roots, it's fine. Just try not to hurt the basal plate. Would
you suggest that if you disturb the basal plate that you use those garlic first?
Yes. They could rot. They just don't store well, and so you would be better off using them right away.
Okay. Wow. That's great. Nice job. Well, I'm glad we decided to harvest the garlic today, because with this nice cattle panel and this nice bed, as you can see, we have a terrible foe here, and it is the bindweed. It is the worst thing in the world. One thing we do suffer with in these raised beds is the bindweed, especially these two, this one here and then this one here behind me. So it is a work in progress to get it out and then to keep it out. So she's got this bunch of garlic, that bunch, the one she's saving there, these here, and she's got some more down there to dig out, and here's a bunch here. So I think we're going to be set for garlic for the winter.
I'm sure this one's fine. It just looks a little funky. If you're worried about it, you can just use it right away. It's perfectly fine to use. But the basal plate seems to be intact, so you probably could store it if you wanted to. It's okay if you have oddities like these. You can decide if you want to use it or not.
Even with those, it's best to put them out in the sun and to cure them all and get them dry so that they will last even for a week or whatever. You need to make sure that the bulbs get dried. That is absolutely necessary. I am not a southerner, but my mom's people were, and she loved okra, and they loved okra. And this poor little okra plant, it's the healthiest, happiest one I've ever grown. I've actually grown 2 or 3 okra plants in my long gardening career, and we got a couple of okra off, but then I'm kind of like, oh, what do we do with this? So I know that I need to pick it early, and a lot of people will batter them and deep fry them. I can't develop a taste for it. I'm trying, so we'll see what we can do.
Sometimes garlic, for some reason, I'm not sure what the reason is, but it will create little tiny garlic, like
Nodes.
whatever, and they're perfectly edible, so you can just cut these out and then use them in your cooking.
Okay, so it's not like a disease or something. It's just another part of the garlic growing.
No, I don't, not to my knowledge, it's not. If you're uncomfortable, you can look it up and see if it's okay to eat, if it's okay for the plant, if you should save this, because, you know, like, if it's a problem, you shouldn't save these to grow next time. You try to grow the healthiest.
That's a good point. Always save the cloves that you're going to grow next year that are the healthiest and biggest.
And that goes with any plant. You save seed from the healthiest plant that doesn't have a disease or propagate.
Just showing you the flyby, the flyover. It is the 4th of July. We've got a lovely bunch, I think they're 4 fighter jets. Can't see it now because of the trees, but I'm sure you can hear it. It is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. This is going to be probably put out after the 4th of July, but nonetheless, happy 4th of July. Maybe I'll put it out today. I really think these garlic are fair worthy. Look how big they are. Look at that. It's massive. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.